Admiral Zexathara's four eyes blinked in rapid succession as she stared at the tactical display, her scaled hands trembling against the command console. The Galactic Council's mighty armada, 3,000 ships strong, had been reduced to barely 200 vessels in less than 72 hours. The humans hadn't just fought back. They had turned the very concept of warfare into something unrecognizable. "Status report," she croaked, her voice barely audible through the bridge's emergency lighting. Commander Veltok, his carapace cracked from the last engagement, approached with obvious reluctance. "Admiral, we've lost contact with the 5th, 7th, and 9th fleets. The humans, they're not fighting like any species we've encountered." 3 standard cycles ago, the Galactic Council had unanimously voted to eliminate humanity from the cosmic stage. Earth was young, its people primitive by galactic standards, still using chemical propulsion and barely managing faster-than-light communication. Intelligence suggested they possessed no energy shields, no plasma weaponry, no gravitic manipulation technology. The Council's xenobiologist had classified humans as aggressively territorial but technologically insignificant. They had been catastrophically wrong. The first wave of Council ships had approached Earth expecting token resistance. Instead, they encountered something unprecedented, humans who fought with a creativity that bordered on madness. When the Council's energy shields deflected human kinetic weapons, the humans launched nuclear warheads wrapped in layers of their own destroyed satellites, creating electromagnetic pulses that cascaded through shield frequencies. When Council ships tried to maintain distance, humans strapped engines to asteroids and hurled them across the solar system with mathematical precision that defied their supposed technological limitations. But it was the psychological warfare that truly shattered Council morale. Human vessels broadcast messages during combat, not the typical surrender demands or tactical communications, but something else entirely. Music, stories, recordings of human children laughing. One particularly devastating transmission had been a human female singing a lullaby, while her ship rammed itself into a Council dreadnought, breaching its hull with nothing but explosive decompression and raw determination. "They're not just defending their world," Veltok continued, his mandibles clicking nervously. "They're fighting like every battle is their last, but also like they've already won. Our psychological warfare specialists can't understand their tactical patterns because they don't follow any logical self-preservation protocols." Admiral Zexathara had commanded fleets for 3 decades, had conquered 17 systems for the Council. She understood warfare as a calculated exchange of resources, lives, and strategic positions. Humans fought warfare like art, unpredictable, passionate, and utterly devastating in its beauty. The second wave had encountered even stranger tactics. Humans had somehow weaponized their own communications networks, broadcasting false surrender signals that lured Council ships into elaborate traps. They turned their cargo vessels into makeshift carriers, launching small craft that shouldn't have posed any threat but somehow managed to disable ships 10 times their size through coordinated swarm attacks that evolved in real time. Most disturbing of all, captured human prisoners didn't break under interrogation. They told jokes. They shared recipes. One human had spent 6 hours teaching his Zephyrian interrogator how to fold paper into decorative shapes, never once revealing tactical information, but somehow making the interrogator question everything about the war's necessity. "Incoming transmission from the human fleet," the communications officer announced, his voice hollow with defeat. "Put it through," Zexathara ordered. The holographic display activated, revealing a human female in what appeared to be a hastily assembled military uniform. She looked tired but not defeated. If anything, her eyes held a warmth that made Zexathara deeply uncomfortable. "Admiral," the human began, "I'm Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Coalition. We've been monitoring your transmissions. We know your fleet is in retreat." Zexathara straightened, summoning what remained of her dignity. "Human, your world stands against the combined might of 47 civilizations. Your victory today is merely—" "Admiral," Captain Chen interrupted gently, "we're not calling to gloat. We're calling to offer you safe passage home." The bridge fell silent. In 3 decades of warfare, Zexathara had never heard such words from an enemy commander. "Your people are dying out there," Chen continued. "We've disabled your ships, but we haven't targeted life support systems. We could have. We chose not to. Pack up your wounded, retrieve your dead, and go home. Tell your council that Earth isn't interested in conquest or revenge. We just want to be left alone. You would spare us? Veltok whispered. Chen's expression softened. Commander, we've been monitoring your casualty reports. Every name on your list represents someone's child, parent, sibling, friend. We're not monsters. We're just protective. The transmission continued for several more minutes, with Captain Chen providing safe corridor coordinates and offering medical supplies for the journey home. When it ended, Admiral Zexathera sat in stunned silence. Admiral, Veltok asked quietly, what are your orders? She looked at the tactical display one final time. Earth hung there, blue and white and utterly unassuming, defended by a species that had just redefined everything she understood about strength. Signal the fleet, she said finally. We're going home. As the remnants of the Council Armada limped away from the Sol system, Admiral Zexathara composed her final report. She would tell the Council that humanity possessed weapons beyond their understanding, not technology, but something far more dangerous. The absolute certainty that some things were worth any sacrifice to protect, combined with the wisdom to show mercy to those who threatened what they loved. The Council had declared war on Earth expecting to face primitives. Instead, they had encountered something far more terrifying. A species that fought like gods but chose to act like neighbors. The war was over before it had truly begun, and everyone in the galaxy would remember who had chosen mercy when victory was within their grasp.